I'm just going to show my TikTok family that we're live on YouTube. It might be shiny, but you're on my channel, everybody. So thank you for following me. JBoss76, the_voice_of_B. So let's get down to it. This morning I woke up at 7:30, and if you all are coming to my channel for the first time or on TikTok, hello from Alberta, hi from Ontario. This is a hot topic. I'm a bit of a geek, a nerd, okay? Hi URS, Jayton, Banga00, and Ronnie Single. I'm shouting y'all out. You're on my YouTube channel. Hey Kirk, how you doing? So I woke up at 7:30 this morning, and because, if some of you don't know, or you do know in YouTube world, that I live with severe bipolar depression, and I wake up in the morning pretty groggy. Hi from Ottawa. Hi Kirk from Ontario, and Sean Thomas 101 and one Flavio. Stick with me because this is mind-boggling. So I turned on, I'm a documentary geek. I don't know if anybody else is, but I am. And so I just turned on this, and it's called The Social Dilemma. I'm really, really huge on referencing people. Having been a former touring musician, singer, songwriter, it sucks when people steal your music. So I'm super huge on referencing. So The Social Dilemma by Netflix. If you want to grab a pen and paper, some of this stuff that I'm about to drop is huge, and you'll want to refer to it. So The Social Dilemma by Netflix, it's an original documentary, and it's under Science and Nature documentaries. And hi Dominique, Queen Gelée, and Go Beast Mode, and Josie Ansley, and KLAS136, and Manix13. Please follow me, tap the screen, because I would really appreciate it. Okay, so this documentary, I'm going to try to put it into words. Because I am a mental health survivor, I'm interested in mental health. I'm also in Canada a social service worker and a trained healthcare aide. I've been to college for a couple of years, and so when I present this information, it's because I am making sure it's a good source and that I'm passionate about it. How does mental health and social media use, how are they affected? Now that might sound like a boring topic, but you just wait. So I turned it on, and all these young guys and one woman, they were hired on to the major social media, all the things that we use in social media. And I want to be really careful because I don't want to get sued and I don't want to get shut down. But what I'm going to do is position myself as this. This is going to be kind of like journalism. And it's not fake news. I've made sure. And I want you to chime in, especially if you're a parent. So a gentleman by the name of Tristan Harris. He's the former design ethicist for Google. And he speaks very eloquently. And if you're into how you can be manipulated by the social media world, like I told you, I was a little nervous talking about this because I could be shooting myself in the foot, because I'm trying to grow my community. Hello to everyone who's just joined. Shout out, you're on my YouTube channel right now, MRRRRR.420. The Helma Lick 5, art.by.c note, Kyle Alders. Hello. So Tristan said, it matters what people in our tribe think of us. You're not created to have social approval thrown at us every 5 minutes from thousands. And then this gentleman named Chamath. Now, I want to say to all of you people who own all these social media networks and stuff, I am just quoting what these people have said that have worked for these major social media entities. This is not my own words. So his name is Chamath, spelled Chamath, Palihapitiya, and I may be saying that wrong, so it's Palihapitiya. So as I put this out to you, it's almost just like, I'm just going to throw out the info, and all of you, thanks, poo.girl.24 for joining me. Thanks for everyone who's following me. Hey, Maddie B035, if any of you are parents and you're just dropping in, this is where you need to be. And I'm streaming this YouTube. So this person, he is the former vice president of the growth for Facebook. And he quotes, we curate our lives around this perceived sense of perfection because we get rewarded by short-term signals, as in likes, hearts, thumbs up, and we conflate that with value and that with truth. And instead, what it is, this is a powerful statement, he says, and I want you to give your opinion. It is a fake, brittle popularity. Whoa. So what he's saying, and he is the former vice president for the growth for Facebook. These people in this documentary have huge guts, because these are some serious statements that they're making about powerful social media entities. They are not my own. And so he says that, I want to say that again because it's pretty powerful. He says, we curate our lives around this perceived sense of perfection because we get rewarded by short-term signals like hearts, thumbs up, likes, and we conflate that with value and with truth. And instead, what it really is fake, brittle popularity. Okay? So, that really hit me. And then he goes on to say, this fake, brittle popularity that's short term and leaves you even more, and admit it, vacant and empty before you did it. So I'm here. I'm going to admit, like, okay, so when I studied social work 1996, we studied dopamine in the brain. And every time we get like a like or a follow, this documentary called The Social Dilemma on Netflix, if you go to watch it, claims that every time we get a you look gorgeous, you look sexy, I liked what you did, on social media platforms, the dopamine fires off in our brain and we become addicted to that. And that's like kind of dangerous um, for kids. And I'm going to share that with you. Um, and goes on to say, so he claims that this fake brittle popularity that's short term and leaves you even more, and admitted, he says, vacant and empty before you did it. Because then it forces you into this vicious cycle of what's the next thing I need to do now because I need it back. So, if like 400 people, and I'll admit it, like if 400 people go, you look so good in that dress, then you're it. And it's almost like drugs, right? We crave on social media that heart or like, and we can't not pick up our phones. And it's really scary. Um and he says, so and I'm going to say to Alan _11, Avalena 23, 888 Rosalie _888, and Dominique Queen Jolie. So hang with me, because there's like a whole, this thing is gonna, if it doesn't hit you in the head, like it's I'm speechless. So he says this vicious cycle of what's the next thing I need to do now because I need that feeling of I am special back. He says, think of that compounded by 2 billion people. Then think about how people react to the perception of others. He ends his statement with, it's really bad. It's really, really bad. And so, because I am a mental health advocate, I also want to stick up for everyone's mental health, not just people with mental illnesses like I have, bipolar, but anxiety is at an all-time high. And so, in the documentary, there is Dr. Haidt. His name, I think in here his name is Jonathan Haidt. It's spelled Haidt. And he says, doctor, he has a PhD. He says there has been an increase in depression for American teenagers. Sorry, there has been a gigantic increase in depression and anxiety for American teenagers, which has been right around between 2011 and 2013, which began right around between 2011 and 2013. Now, get a pen. Seriously, especially if you're if you're a parent, and I'm a parent, and I'm kind of shocked because what I learned today, my kids grew up in this and I didn't even have a clue. So he goes on to say, the number of teenage girls out of 100,000 in this country every year who are admitted to a hospital because they cut themselves around 2010 to 2011. Okay? Hi, Dina, 2065. And thank you for following me. Hello, Mama Mod 420. And so um that number remained stable between 2010 and 2011. And then it begins to go way up. 62% for older teenage girls being age 15 to 19. It's up 189% for preteen girls ages 10 to 14. That's nearly triple. Hi, Addict Creative. Hi, Teresa.Ross. So even he goes on to say, now you'll have to read between the lines because TikTok doesn't like certain words. Even more horrifying, we see the same pattern in It Starts with an S. When girls don't want to stay. Let's put it that way. Okay? The older teenage girls between 15 to 19 are up 70%. The preteen girls are up 151%, ages 10 to 14. And that pattern points to social media available on mobile. Oh my goodness. Gen Z, the kids born before 1996 or so, those kids are the first generation in history that got on social media in middle school. So, how do they spend their time? They come home from school and they're on their devices. All right. I know that my skin is not this perfect. Like, it's not. And I did not put on any kind of filter. And I do that on purpose. I have lipstick on, like it's my lipstick, like I actually put it on, okay? But I got nothing else on. But like when there's like this phenomenal, it was saying, can't see the glare of the light. There's a phenomenon they're saying of a particular social media where you can edit your face, where girls are going to doctors, plastic surgeons, and saying, I want to look like this. I want to look like my profile in this particular social media. And I'm not going to say it because I'm not going to get sued. But that's sad. Like, I like my nose and I like my face. And, like, I mean, like, it's so sad that these girls, and when someone responds and says, could your ears get any bigger? And they're sitting there in their rooms and they're crying because one person said their ears were big. We got to do better. So the doctor goes on to say, a whole generation is more anxious, fragile, and depressed. They're much less comfortable at taking risks. The rates in which they're getting their driver's license is dropping. I couldn't wait to get my driver's license. How about you guys? Okay. The number of who have ever been on a date or having any kind of a romantic interaction is dropping because the devices are the way that they're connecting. Oh my goodness. This is a real change in a generation. And remember, for every one of these and every hospitalization, there is a family that is traumatized and horrified, saying, "My God, what is happening to our kids?" And that's right from Dr. Haidt, Haidt. And I know I wrote down somewhere because, like I said, I'm all about. Yes, he has a PhD. He is from the NYU School of Business, and he's a social psychologist, American. And so those facts come straight from a doctor with a PhD. Tristan Harris, who's the former Google design ethicist, he says, we are training and conditioning a whole new generation of people that when we are uncomfortable or lonely or uncertain or afraid, we have a digital pacifier for ourselves. It's kind of atrophying our own ability to deal with that happening. There's a deal to deal with that. So, okay, that we are conditioned. So when I went to school, if any of you remember Pavlov's experiment where he would feed a dog, ring a bell, and he would ring a bell and feed the dog. And then there'd be times he would ring the bell and not feed the dog. But he got the dog so conditioned that when he would ring the bell, the dog would start to really salivate because he had conditioned it to that it was going to get meat and be fed. And so the scary part to me, now this is my opinion now, based on my education and my experience, I can't handle it. If a ding goes off on my phone, I jump. I am conditioned. And I can't tell you the day that I first used the internet because, see, the internet came out in school in the 90s and I was in college in 1996. And I remember not going on spring break and having all the encyclopedias and books around me because I had a research paper that it was 2 years long and I was in my second year, and we just did research the old fashioned way. And so I am now, though, conditioned. Like before, I'll tell you my opinion, the internet was for my benefit of doing my schooling. The internet was used to help me learn more, do more, and it was a wonderful thing. But when large companies and search engines start to be able to predict what I want, what I like to eat, what I like to do, what I like to watch, and then feed it to me in some sort of advertisement or to cause me to buy. Um, and then getting down to the fact that I'm bipolar and how my opinion, we have never been more connected but more lonely in our entire society, in my opinion. And it used to bother me because, everyone can have a computer or a phone in your house, but no one among kids or parents has to talk to each other. We can stay completely in our own bubble but not communicate. And so, as a parent, my kids are 18, 20, and 22. They think it's stupid when I ask them to put their phones in the kitchen and we have a family dinner because I'm telling you, the conversations that we have, because um thank you, thank you, Nishpania 3. Hi, Rock Priestess. I mean, chime in on what I'm saying, because you have a right to an opinion, both in challenge you to, I mean, if you don't have kids, you and your partner put your devices aside during dinner and turn off the notification. Oh, cool, Jen Salon. So, do you find that your kids at 20 and 22 are just like a pacifier, like Tristan says, Tristan Harris says, who was the former design ethicist for Google? Do you find that, oh, good for you, awesome, I'm proud of you as a parent? Because what I'm finding is I'm forcing my kids to learn how to have good old fashioned conversation. I mean, someone I admire says, it's real easy to create this completely fake life of who you are. And you can lose yourself that way. That's terrible. Um, and so he goes on to say there's a problem happening in the tech industry. This is Tristan Harris. It doesn't have a name, and it has to do with one source. Um, so um, that's what I wanted to share. I mean, so when you think about the mental health, how like women compared themselves bad enough before on the covers of magazines and the whole controversy about airbrushing and all that sort of stuff. Hey, Shelly Winger and Kyle Alders and Tito underscore 70. So the effect of mental health and social media on kids is, to me, really detrimental. I mean, I'm not going to say it, but there's a social media app that I can change my appearance so dramatic that I actually am gonna make a joke and and like introduce people on TikTok to my family when it's all me. And it's really scary, that you can change your eye color, your hair color, make your cheekbones sharper. Like, you know, um I show up in my pajamas and no makeup, sometimes just to show that you don't need to be that way. You don't need to try to be perfect. It doesn't exist. So, what the documentary is about is how we, how like in 1996 when I was going to college, hey Tabor underscore time and caustic underscore gravy and gigafoid and user 932531654. Everyone like have a comment, like feel free to comment your opinions. But in 1996, when I first went online, it was for the purpose of information. It was for the purpose of me being able to complete my assignments. Hey, Shelly. So, but then all of a sudden, the tech giants discovered and created this ability to track every single thing you and I do online, and then be able to psychologically, this is why this is wrapped up in mental health. This is why I'm covering this on my YouTube, which is my mental health channel, is they are able to psychologically manipulate us by tracking every single movement, everything we buy, everything we respond to, so that they can feed back to us. And I'll paraphrase what they said, but what they said was that if they can track what we do, you and I are the product. The people that own businesses that advertise on social media platforms, they buy. Oh, you're welcome, Shelly. Mwah. They buy advertising, and then the social media platforms then feed to us, who are the product, what we have shown that we like, enjoy, do, go, talk about, what social platforms we're on, and then psychologically manipulate us. And so what I'm going to finish saying, because Shelly, that was really, really special what you just said. Like the fact that you said that I saved your life. Yeah, Shelly Winger. Okay, exactly. So Shelly, you say, and so those in YouTube, Shelly is on TikTok with me, and she says, I just never think I'm good enough to breathe the same air as all these models. Shelly, are you getting what I'm telling you in this TikTok live? Are you getting that it's all a facade? Okay. Well, Shelly, I'm here for you. I'm here for you. Message me, private message me, and maybe we can have like a 10-minute chat. So, so I just wanted to say that educate yourself on how this all works. I highly recommend this Netflix documentary. Again, it's called The Social Dilemma. It's an original documentary on Netflix. And Shelly, it will really educate you and help you understand that what is put out by all of us is sometimes not even real. It's perceived truth. And so I'm going to leave you with what my psychiatrist says. Thoughts aren't facts. And when you make a thought a fact and you act on that thought that isn't even true in the first place, that's when you get in big trouble. And so, Shelly, you're beautiful because you have a right to be here and you're not an accident. And anyone else who feels the same way, we all have a purpose and we're all going to grow up and grow old. And you know what? Um, we're not going to look this way forever. And what matters will be you don't want to be hollow and shallow. You want to be loving and kind and and some of the I will quote MD Motivator on TikTok, and he says some of the nicest and kindest and wisest people are those who have been hurt the most. And so I am here for any of you to support you and love you, and because just really stay with reality that if it looks perfect, it's flawed. Because you know what? There's no such thing. And you know what? I have had no plastic surgery, and you probably haven't either. And all the celebrities and all that. One sec, Shelly, I'll let you know. All the celebrities and all that choose to have plastic surgery, no judgment. That's their thing. But just be you and be proud of who you are. And you know, that's all I'm going to leave it as. You're loved, wanted, you're needed, valued, you're appreciated. And the world, and no world, not be better off with it. So I'm Stephanie Brown, and to answer your question, Shelly, it's called The Social Dilemma by Netflix. Original documentary under Science and Nature Docs. And let me know if any of you watch it and what you thought of it. And comment, write me, message me, and please, anyone, if you've enjoyed this, please follow me, and I will see you next.